Welcome to the Drawn Hungry YouTube channel. I'm Jordan and I created this cozy culinary card game called Drawn Hungry. It's a game where you prepare meals for special occasions. Think apples to apples meets Top Chef. Today, we are turning someone's creative culinary pitch into a reality. It's a pitch to plate challenge. Now, before we whisk into the kitchen for some culinary chaos, please do me a couple little favors. Hit that like button like a pinata full of pickles. Subscribe so you don't miss a single belly laugh. And follow me on Instagram at Drawn Hungry for bunny content, silliness, and a little sprinkle of sass. Now, if you want to cook up your own culinary chaos, grab the game that started it all. Go to drawnhungry.com and pick up your own copy. Trust me, it is a tasty good time. All right, let's get into it. Today, we are going to be preparing some cheesy spaghetti cake bites from Meredith in episode 18 called Cookshop and Stupid Burger Compete for Gourmet Glory. Let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what Meredith presented.
And then the other little thing I'm gonna make is gonna be like a spaghetti pie or like a spaghetti cake made into like these little itty bitty bite size, like cheesy spaghetti bites, but we're gonna call it a spaghetti cake.
All right, very fun, to the point. Let's go ahead and see how these spaghetti cake bites turn out. Let's get into the kitchen. All right, for these spaghetti cake bites, I'm gonna be totally honest. I am flying by the seat of my pants. I refused to look up a recipe for this. I figured I could figure it out on my own. So I did. I also was not feeling up to creating marinara from scratch. I did that in this Pagania video. You should check that out if you haven't seen it yet. That's probably enough. I just went ahead and got some onions, garlic, and basil and sauteed those up a little bit and then added in a pasta sauce. My husband bought me vodka sauce for this. I feel like you could use a lot of other tomato-based sauces, and I just put that in and let it simmer a little bit. And while that was simmering away, I got a big pot of water boiling with some salt to cook my spaghetti noodles, and once those were both ready, I just went ahead and put all that sauce in with the noodles, after I had drained it, of course, and mixed it all up together, get the noodles nice and coated. And then I used some tongs to sort of like carefully grab a bunch of noodles and then almost like pinwheel / bird's nest, like place them into these muffin cups that I had sprayed with a little bit of olive oil. Then I topped each of these muffin cups with cheese. I used mozzarella as well as a dairy-free mozzarella. I had a guest coming over who is dairy-free, so I did that for her. And bake them for about 15 minutes at 350. And once they came out, I let them cool down for like 10-15 minutes and I popped them out. I was so nervous about this, but they actually popped out really easily, which made me really happy. I did not want a mess, and they didn't turn out a mess, which was great. Last little touch was to just top them with a fresh leaf of basil. So let's go ahead and see how they taste. Okay, we have spaghetti cake bites. Now it's time to see the taste test, you know? Love the basil on there. These are totally cake bites. They hold their shape. So, check. We accomplished that. Let's get a bite. Is a lot of cheese to work your way through. There's a lot there in that bite. You know, this was originally pitched as something for a food festival. Not gonna lie, if I got this at a food festival, I'd be a little bit disappointed. Doesn't quite meet up to what I would want showcased, you know, at a food festival. But if I was serving this to, you know, some boys at like a party, you know, kids party, these would be everybody's favorite. Everybody would walk away like, oh my gosh, we had spaghetti cake. It's very fun. Okay, now real quick, let's try a bite of our dairy-free spaghetti cake bites real quick. These aren't, you know, quite as structurally sound. They're a little wobbly, but I think they still qualify as cake bites. So let's get a little tasty taste. It's great. Vegan spaghetti cake bites. Fabulous. Great as the original. How often can you say that? Mine can be a teensy bit better just because there's not as much cheese. Not as much in there to chew through. So overall, I think we successfully did what we set out to do, and I'm a happy lady. Would you believe that these spaghetti cake bites started out as just a couple of cards somebody played in a game? Seriously, it just started out as basically a joke around a dinner table. Drawn Hungry turns dinner parties into brainstorms, and sometimes brilliance comes out of the chaos. If you had fun watching this recipe come to life, just wait until you play the game for yourself. You can grab your own copy of Drawn Hungry at drawnhungry.com. All one word. It's perfect for dinner parties, game nights, or just spicing up a cozy night in. And remember, hit that like button like it's a piñata full of pickles, subscribe so you don't miss a single belly laugh, and till next time folks, bon appetit! Now the next ones are not going to be quite as nice.